The IRS knows they can't touch this one important rule. Yes, the 1031 exchange. So on today's show, we're going to talk about one of the major tax saving strategies that all real estate investors need to know about, the 1031 exchange. In fact, it's been called the rich man's tool. That's right. A few years back, Congress, under pressure from the IRS, tried to change the 1031 exchange. And there was an absolute revolt on Capitol Hill. I remember covering it here on the show. Even President Trump stepped in to stop the madness, because changing or hurting the 1031 exchange is like touching Social Security. You just don't do it. You don't touch it. Hands off. Listen, I know it's easy to tune out when you hear about advanced strategies that the ultra wealthy use to build wealth. And you're like, I'm not there yet. I'm telling you, you need to pay attention. All real estate investors need to have this information in their back pocket. You never know when you actually might need it. So I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. Even if you're not in the position to use this information today, you can still plant the seed in your brain, come back to it, reference this video when you need it. This is what smart investors do. It doesn't matter if you're a pro investor or if you've never invested in a property. Taking the time to learn about strategies is an incredible way to set yourself up for success. First, let's start with the basics. What is it? What is a 1031 exchange? Well, a 1031 exchange is a tax deferral strategy, and here's how it works. It allows you to essentially swap one investment property for another without being subject to capital gains taxes. Now, the 1031 exchange gets its name from Section 1031 of the Internal Revenue Code, and it's called an exchange because you're trading one investment for another. Now, as you might guess, when you're dealing with the IRS, there's going to be a lot of strict rules and a lot of moving parts with this. No surprise there. But because the tax benefits of a 1031 exchange are so profound, it is well worth it, okay? It's well worth a little bit of a headache. Think of it like this. Think of it like a tax break. Tax genius and CPA Tom Wheelwright always says that the government wants to incentivize citizens to engage in certain behaviors. The IRS wants you to have businesses and investments. And if you were to try to sell your rental properties, they'd slap you with a hefty tax. So instead, they'd say, okay, fine, you can sell off an asset if you need to, but if you keep that money in the economy, then we'll give you a break on your tax bill. Now, for more on investments the government will pay you to make, click the card here to watch my interview with Tom Wheelwright. It's a great interview. So here's the card. Click it and watch that one. Now, you might be wondering why someone would need this type of transaction. Honestly, there are a lot of reasons. Let me give you a few examples, though. Let's say you've got a rental property that isn't performing like you hoped it would. Or maybe you invested in a certain market and something about the demographics shifted. There's higher crime now, the jobs left, whatever, right? It's become harder to find good tenants. Or maybe you have this one property that has appreciated in value and you want to capture the value and invest in more properties. Like I said, there are many reasons why an investor might want to take advantage of a 1031 exchange. Obviously, the biggest benefit for you as an investor is that big break on your taxes. So doing a 1031 exchange can allow you to potentially save tens of thousands of dollars. It is important to note, however, that the 1031 is a tax deferral tool, meaning you're kind of kicking the can down the road a little bit. If you were to eventually cash out of the deal, you'd be subject to taxes. But the good news is there's no limit to the number of exchanges that you can do. So you can repeat this strategy as much as you need to and keep deferring taxes. That's right, even up until you die. Other than taxes, though, there are some major benefits of going through with a 1031 exchange. It's a great way to build wealth because it allows you to actually buy better performing assets. You're sort of upgrading. Maybe you've got, 3 properties that appreciated really nicely in value, okay? Now you want to sell them off, but you don't want to pay the taxes. So you can now sell them off in a 1031 exchange and maybe buy 10 properties, right, that have a better cash flow opportunity. These are all ways you can do it. It could also be a means of diversifying your portfolio, whether you're looking to branch out in different types of investments, different markets. It's a great strategy. It also allows you to strategically grow and preserve your wealth over the years. Now, as I mentioned at the top, there are many rules, regulations, timelines that you must follow going through a 1031 exchange. I'm not going to get into all of these today because honestly, it's pretty boring and you don't need to store all of that information in your brain. When you do go through with a 1031 exchange, you will work with a qualified person, a qualified intermediary who will help you facilitate that transaction and make sure that you're in compliance with the IRS. They'll make sure you hit those dates. You have a certain date you have to hit certain things by and thresholds and all of that. So they'll help you with that. You don't need to take up your brain space with that, okay? I do have some older videos that cover that information more in depth. If you'd like to reference those, you can. And I'll link you one here. But again, you don't need to waste your brain space with that stuff. We'll get back to the video in a minute. But first, inflation is out of control and you've got to protect your money. Any money you've got sitting in your bank is losing value every day, right now by about 3.5% to 4%. That's right. If you want to protect your money and you want to grow it, you need to put it to work by investing it. Now, I'm not talking about risky or volatile investments like stocks or crypto. Don't get me wrong, I like those. But tangible assets is what I'm really talking about, that you can actually put your hands on. The best tangible asset that you can invest in right now is real estate. It's the #1 hedge against inflation, and it offers some of the highest and the safest returns possible. Hey everyone, I'm Clayton Morris, longtime real estate investor and founder of Morris Invest. Now, I got into real estate after learning that it was a favorite among the wealthy, and now I know exactly why. Personal experience has proven that it is the #1 way to build wealth and to protect wealth. I've got decades of experience now that have proven it. Now, while there's several ways you can invest in real estate, most of which I've tried myself, the build-to-rent model offers the most benefits, hands down. More specifically, single family, buy and hold. I'm talking brand new construction built from the ground up, build to rent. Build to rent properties offer more tax benefits, fewer headaches than rehabbing an existing property. There's less risk and way less stress than flipping houses. There are a lot less work than wholesaling houses. And there's less turnover and fewer issues than multifamily properties. And when you invest in build to rent real estate, you're getting 4 streams of income. That's right, 4. Appreciation and equity gains, principal reduction, tax benefits and depreciation, and then monthly cash flow, which is my favorite. On top of that, you're using someone else's money, yes, the bank's money, to invest in real estate, while someone else, your tenant, is paying for it, paying down the mortgage. It's just one advantage that it has over tangible assets like gold and silver. I mean, I love gold and silver, but you can't buy it with the bank's money. And you certainly can't have someone else pay for it, can you? No, you can't. Plus, when you're strategic about leveraging, using the bank's money, you can get 4 to 5 times the assets that you can to invest in. And it's the only investment that gives you 4 to 5 times the protection from inflation. My company, Morris Invest, along with the help from our team at Sedera Wealth, helps you invest in build-to-rent properties as easily as investing in stocks, because we buy and we build in bulk, and then we pass our savings on to you. Now, if you'd like to learn more, let's just jump on the phone. You can share your financial goals with my team. You can ask questions, it's totally free, and we'll see if it's a good fit. Talking with us, again, completely free. No pressure, no strings attached. When we talk to you on the phone, we're going to explain a few things. Number 1, how to identify a smart real estate investment. Then, what does it take to become a successful investor? And then what you need to get started, whether it's a team, good market, good property, down payment, financing, all of those things. We'll talk about it. Where to get a good strategy that actually best fits your goals and your situation. I mean, everyone is different, right? Every life situation is different. So we'll talk about that on the phone. Then we'll also talk about how to get free ongoing help. So click the link below right now to schedule a free call with my team and start protecting your money today. So who should consider a 1031 exchange? Any investor who's looking to offload an investment. It's always smart to be surveying your portfolio on a yearly or quarterly basis, making sure your investments are matching your goals. If not, it might be time to look for a 1031 exchange. An important point is that you're a real estate investor. You should always be thinking about long-term strategies. A 1031 exchange is really incredible in this regard. When it comes to estate planning and wealth building strategies, this is not something that you should overlook. At Morris Invest, which is my company, our 1031 program is designed to make the process as painless as possible. We can actually help you identify replacement properties and help you explore other strategies to help you save even more on taxes. All you have to do is come on over to our website. Just go to morrisinvest.com, click on the big red button right there, and you can book a call with us. A little calendar will pop up, and you just tell us the 30-minute window that you'd like to pick, and we'll call you at that time. Just make sure you put in the right phone number and the email address. Some people put in the wrong phone number, and they're like, no one called me, because you put the wrong phone number in there. So just do that, and we'll call you at that correct time. Next up, you've got to see this interview I did with Dr. Jeff Anzalone, where we talked about passive income strategies for medical professionals and other high-income earners. Check out that video right here, and thank you so much for subscribing. We'll see you next time.